having, and therefore attract more positive experiences to yourself in that process. What do you think about that?
Yeah.
Exciting, isn't it? To know that you are the creator. But there's some things that are going to rub you the wrong way. There's no right and wrong. There's no good and bad. Those of you that want to change the experiences of others because you think you know better, you don't like the racist, you don't like the litterers, you don't like the not grain.
Quick question.
Yes.
Will we need more space to move around?
You can move anytime you want to. You can stop me if you want to. I'm in and out like that, so I can be called out and go right back in.
I just mean, like, you're talking about the yoga and the mudras and all that. Like,
Yeah.
will you feel the
If you feel the urge to do anything,
do it?
do
Want
it.
more space?
Yeah.
Okay.
The other thing I might mention, what I did have happen, I had a very out-of-body phenomenon experience that occurred. I had a Kundalini rising, and I don't know if anyone's aware of what that is. A Kundalini rising, which is, there is an energy source that sits at the base of the spine of every human, whether you're aware of it or not, it's there. And so as you get on your spiritual journey, and depending on what lifetime you're in, that energy gets activated, it travels up the spine, it opens all of your energy centers. And that's kind of what really starts to create this type of possibility or connection. And it's a very contagion, you'll see during the transmission in the way that you feel, it's a very contagious energy. It actually has the ability to kind of help you rise in your consciousness. So it's a good thing. It's a really good thing. So, here we are. Yes? Do you notice the difference as we enter? We are a powerful bunch. We are glad that you have taken the time out of your day today to spend it with us, you see. We're going to have a little fun today. We want to talk to you about this all-inclusive vacation that all of you are on. You're going to the restaurants that you like to eat at. You're making sure that you go to the people that serve you well, aren't you? Yes. Are you going to go back to someone who makes you a shitty drink or doesn't do something to your liking? You are not, because you are the pickers, the choosers, the deciders of how you are going to experience your trip here. Is that not true? But yet you humans come onto the earth plane and you forget all about this all-inclusive plane that you are on, this earth. It is the same as the resort that you are sitting in. You have the ability to decide, what do you like? What do you enjoy? What do you want more of? But yet, what do? You focus upon the things you do not like. You talk about the nasty people that have mistreated you, the lousy food that you have had, and the experiences that you are not happy about. Did you know you are the creator of all the experiences that you are having? Did you know this? If you get a shitty experience, it is your doing. It is by your attraction or your alignment to it. And you can align in many ways. You can align in the likeness to it or the not likeness to it. And this is where the tricky part comes in. You can hate lazy people and be surrounded by lazy people. Did you know that? Because now you are the attractor of it. What do we want to do today for you? We want to set you free. And what does that mean, to be set free? We want to tap into your head today, what you are, who you are, and how you create, so that you can get the life that you are meant to get. That you can stop living unconsciously by the emotions you are experiencing, and you can decide to use those emotions to your benefit and create consciously and choose how you will feel about the experiences you are having, and therefore attract more positive experiences to yourself in that process. What do you think of all that?
Yeah.
It's exciting, isn't it, to know that you are the creator. But there's some things that are going to rub you the wrong way. There's no right and wrong. There's no good and bad. Those of you that want to change the experiences of others because you think you know better, you don't like the racists, you don't like the litterers, you don't like the not grain people. Do you realize in your dislike of them, you have likened yourself to them, and that you will only bring more of those experiences to yourselves? Do you realize this? So how do you do it? You are an emanator. You are in a human tool. Did you know that? Your human is a tool that you are using. And it is governed by this high part of yourself, this divine part, this source or God or what you want to call it, we don't care. But you are the decider of how you will emanate, and how you emanate is how you are being returned to. So if you emanate your hate towards someone who is not cooperating with you in the way you would like them to, you are sane. And you are not bringing anything to yourself or to the whole. as you do it. You are to be the emanator of love. You are to be the emanator of what you like. You are to take your eyes off of anything that is not that, because you are the creator of that as you do it, you see. This is hard for humans to get. He is a cheat. He is a liar. He is lazy. He is stolen. If he is happy with himself, no harm will come to him. Hard to swallow, isn't it? Because he is the tractor of his experience, and how he feels about it is how he is returned upon. And as we have told your Susan in a little exchange that we had, cause and effect goes very deep. So even if you are the liar, you are the cheat, you are the one that is stolen, you are in union with all of these others who are part of your experience. And they may be affected by the things that you do, the things that you cause, and the way that they feel about them. And so now their lives are now affected by how it is you have moved. And now you are very loving of these ones, and they are suffering at your hand, at your deeds. And them watching you suffer is their punishment, or what you would deem as punishment, but we call it cause and effect, you see. Doesn't it feel freeing to know you don't need to change anybody? You don't need to march. You don't need to decide if they should be Republican or Democrat, or whether they are good or bad. How does that feel to know you are free? You are sovereign creators. How you emanate is what creates. You will never change another by how you think of them. Never. You will only attract more thinkers like them to yourself to do battle with, to mess up your own vibration and bring more misery to yourselves. We don't know how we can be any clearer than that. Some of you people are cause people. You're causing misery. That's what you're causing. You have to understand that you are an emanator, and that the universe is nothing more than mirroring back to you about you, because this is oneness. You are all part of the same thing. How you emanate matters. It is mirrored back to you. This is the life you have. Look at it. Do you like it? Are you happy with the reflection you are getting? Or are you dissatisfied in some way? Then you need to make correction. They don't need, he's bad. He's making me angry. He's making my life miserable. Take them out of the equation. Your perception of the one is what is making you miserable, and what is attracting more and more and more of same to yourself. If you are in a relationship that is not fitting to you, love the one and leave. Because if you are to emanate in negativity constantly, you will have nothing more but the same experiences pouring everywhere, from the grocery store to the checkout to the gas station, wherever it is that you go. You will be receiving the energy that you are emitting towards the one that you feel is the cause of your misery. You're the cause of it. You're the emanator. You're the one that sends out a signal to all that is returned on. Now you're getting it back. You're getting the reflection. But you will say in your judgment, in your rightness, they are bad. I feel bad. I don't like what they are doing. And we would say, take your attention from it. There are plenty of things here you can find that you can put it on that will be to your liking. We like the idea of likening this vacation to your life. Are you here to be miserable? No. You've made your mind up to have a good time. You've made your mind up to be in friendship. You've decided to eat foods you like. You've decided to go to the service you like. You have not decided to choose something that will bring you pain or misery. You could. You need to live your lives this way. This vacation can go on and on, you see. But you are the ones that will determine that. Can we answer a question for anyone? Is there anything that we have not made clear, or that is somehow foggy to you? Cat got your tongue.
It's not foggy.
Are you about to speak?
What about when people try to take our power away?
No one takes your power away. You say, here it is. Let me give it to you. Who could take your power if you did not agree to it?
The state of Idaho, if I'm trying to have an abortion.
Why do you live there? Go where you can have one. Do you think you're going to get one by fighting against it? Do you think you're going to somehow attract to yourself something that you are wanting in your distaste of it? Go where they align. Go where the happiness is. Go where the joy is. Get what it is that you are wanting for yourself. And stop condemning those that are trying to take it from you and deciding that they are somehow more powerful than you are. You have more power than you could ever imagine. You can go anywhere. You can be anything. The only thing that prevents a human from becoming that which they want to become is their perception or their belief that they hold by the lineages and the lives that they have lived and those that they have observed. We're not saying it's all your fault. All of it is part of it. All of it is in you. It's in your DNA. Every ancestor that you have ever had, every life that has ever been lived is in you. And so this is why children are all different. Not all will have the alcoholism. Not all will have the tendencies that some will have. And this is what you have to understand. So here you are right now in your now moment. This is the creation time. The lives you're living matter not because they are nothing more than unconscious feelings and emotions that you have already long emitted that are simply unfolding in the lives that you are in. You didn't even know where that was coming from. You paid no attention to how you were feeling. You just got stuff and wondered how it happened. We're telling you right now how it happened. So what do? You can live unconsciously and continue to emote and watch your life unfold based upon the emotions you emit. That's unconscious living. Or you can decide to live consciously in the now moment, in your power. This is where your power is. You asked where it was. I will decide how I feel. I will pick and choose where I live. I will do what is best for me. And in the emanation of that power, the universe will mirror that back to me. And this is what I will receive in every interaction, every place that I go in regard to my life. If you give up your power to the state of Idaho, I believe you said it was, you're going to be giving up your power everywhere. You're going to have a mate that you're powerless with. You're going to have friends that have power over you. You're going to work a job that's powerful over you because you have given up your power, you see. You don't have to do that. You can claim it. You can decide. You can perceive yourself in your grandeur, in your power, and have that be the reality that you create for yourself. You see. It's all your decision. It's all by your deciding. Now, here, in the now moment. This is why we tell you the now moment is the creation moment. Because when you start picking and choosing consciously, we're not going to tell you that the shit's not going to hit the fan or that you're not going to have some things once in a while in your life that are upsetting because you're on a contrasting plane and that ain't going away. That's going to continue because that's what's here in this 3D reality that you are a part of. But the picking and choosing, now this is what a master does. He will feel the sting of the bullwhip upon him. And he will decide what has been born of that experience. I want more love. I want more peace, more harmony. I want less racism. I want all these things. And now I'm going to move to that and emanate that so that all that is can reflect that back to me and the people that I meet. And I'm going to get this lovely life with all these non-racist people, with all these loving people, with all these things that are in alignment to me. That's what I'm going to attract to myself by this way of creating. This is conscious creating. I feel the emotion. I feel the stickiness of it, the negativity of it. And then I know what was born of it. I decide in that moment, what do I want from that experience? This is what I want. And when you do this, when you align to that truth of what you really want in your life, it's already been created. The minute you've asked for it, all it is received it. And it has transmuted the energy, whether it's positive or negative, whether you think there's good or bad matters not. It's energy. It's all it is. And when that energy is received and all it is lifted. And it is there for you. It's your universe. Let's talk about that for a moment. You have this universe that is yours. This is it. This is yours. And how do you put in there? I like that. I don't like that. I love that. Let's have some more of that. That person's great. That one not so great. You can't look at anything without adding it to your universe. Did you know that? Many humans find this out and they want to suck those things back out. But the universe is an all-inclusive resort, just like this is. And you can't take anything out. Once you put it in, it's yours. The universe expands immediately the minute you have a preference. You can't get rid of it. You can't stop it. You can't make it go away. It's in there, you see. And you're probably thinking, a lot of things in there I wish I wouldn't have put in. But you're not to worry about that. Because once you get the understanding of what it is that we are transmitting to you today, and you decide to change and think about what it is you're putting in your universe, your vibration will rise. And those things that you put in there that were not to your liking, or you realize are not to your liking, will no longer be a match to you. They'll just be circling out there in your universe. You might have a bad day, suck a few of them in, a few bad experiences might come. But overall, as you start to do this practice, as you start to get this understanding of this personal universe that is yours, did you know that every belief that one holds is just a stream of consciousness? You can believe in sickness. You can believe in well-being. You can believe in all the studies that you read. You can become part of them. You can flow into that stream of consciousness and have that be your outcome. But why would you do that when you have sovereignty? When you are a person, a being that can decide for yourself what it is you would love in your universe? Why would you let the masses decide? Why would you go with mass consciousness as being the right thing for you? When you can do it sovereignly, when you can do it exclusively and individually for yourself. We would tell you to turn off your news. We would tell you to stop your protesting. We would tell you to put your mind on everything that brings you joy, everything you love to eat, everything you love to drink, every person you love to be around. What's your life changed when you live this way? Somehow you have gotten into the belief we're not saying you, we're giving you an analogy, yes? But the do-gooders of the world, they're going to change the world. They're going to point their finger at all those that are doing it wrong. You're doing nothing. You're ruining your own universe and the masses together. Your creative power is in your individuality, in your sovereignty, in your decision to emanate. You call it love. We call it everything that feels good. That's what we call it. And once you start to live this way, this will be what will surround you. This will be what is in your universe. This will be what you're encountering in your everyday interactions. This will be your life, you see. And that will start to grow, and more of those will come, and more will come. And this will be the life that you will live. But if you go the other way, and you want to continue to shake your finger, and you want to point out everyone that's doing wrong, there'll be so many doing wrong that will find you, that you will have a hellish life.
So
Anybody have a question?
How do you use your power to find humility at the same time?
I would ask you, humility. Do you feel humility as you call one out? As you go after one that is doing wrong, that you deem as wrong? Do you feel humility? You do not.
No.
You have a guidance system with you. Do you know that? Every moment of every day, every time you are having a thought or thinking about doing something, you're going to be guided by your emotional guidance system. And not one of you feel good in conflict. But yet you feel certain circumstances are worthy of conflict. And we're here to tell you that they are not. And you have a guidance system to prove it to yourself. So how do you live this way? You feel. If you don't feel good, all of that communication that comes from all that is between you and you. You think it's about the masses. Those people are bad. They're wrong. They're causing me to be miserable. They're littering. They're racist. We could go on a list of things that you would determine as the right way that a human should behave. But all of the communication that you are getting and the emotions that you are getting is between you and you. Did you know that? And the universe sends you a charge of negative emotion when you are thinking in a way that is going to mirror back to you that same thing. That's your communication. You have to pay attention. How do you feel in every moment? If you feel negativity, that's the high part of yourself notifying you how you're thinking right now is not going to yield you anything to your benefit. If you're moving the right way, you're going to feel good. You're going to feel positive. You tell me here, any one of you, even if you're a cause person, even if you're a marcher, who's ever felt good going up against someone that they thought were wrong? Nobody does. Because you have a guidance system. All of you do. You're plugged in, tuned in, popped on. You just aren't paying attention. Somehow you've forgotten how this works. So from now on, when you get an emotion, the high part of me is talking to me. It's not telling you that one is trouble. You're trouble. That's what it's telling you. Did that answer your question? We don't need to spare people. What are we? We are a group of entities that have lived many lives. Some of us female, some of us male. We have come and gone so many times, so have you, by the way, that would make your head spin around. We use this one because we like her. We like her personality, yes? We like her ability to serve. That's why she's here today. A lot would not do this. And we like the way that she is willing, accessible. Let's use those terms, yes? Many will ask us, well, who are you? And I would say, who are you? Do you know who you are? You know you had a mother, but you have no idea who you are. None of you do. You would be a liar to say you knew who you were. You are all part of consciousness. You're all part of the same one thing experiencing itself as all things. That's all you are. And so as the whole idea of the mirroring thing is, as you judge another, as you determine another to be lowly and not good enough and wrong, and you put yourself on a pedestal, you're only doing it to yourself. It's getting mirrored right back to you. That's what oneness is. Boom, right back at you. How do you like it? Do we have any more questions?
Yes. How about if there's someone that you feel is underprivileged and not capable of helping themselves? How do you help?
That would be an agreement that there are victims, and there are no victims. You do not know the lineages that this one has had or the lessons that he is here to learn. Did you know that when you come here, that many of you have, in your soul groups, have decided what it is you will transcend and work on? We see this a lot with drug addiction, alcoholism. If you master that, if you overcome that, you change that in the lineage for all that are part of it, or all that are to come. See? Nobody is here receiving anything that they have not attracted to or agreed to in the life that they are in. You see babies coming in, but they're no babies, we assure you. They have lived lives upon lives upon lives. And they have lineages that go on and on and on. And so you are to know that when one realizes what they are, as you are maybe all going to realize today, that you are not the human that you think you are. You are much more than what that is. And anyone that gets that understanding, we like to use the word countersink. In, yes?
Counter what?
Countersunk. In. You ever countersink a nail? You drive it a little further? Yes?
Yeah.
So anyone that gets that understanding can have any kind of life they want. Victimization doesn't exist except for the one that believes that they are being victimized. So you are to look at them in compassion and not pity in answer to your question. And to know that every single life, every experience that is being had is needed both by them and all that is. And you are not to question it. You're not to try to change it. Do you feel good as you do it? Don't even answer us. We know you don't. You do not feel good as you pity another. Whether it is sadness or whatever emotion you would like to attach to it, it is not one of joy and happiness, we can assure you. And this is what you are going for. If you want to change the world as badly as you say you do, then this is what you need to do. Anything further?
I have a friend that's of 40 years who has become very unhappy with the outcome of her life, and she's negative, and I love her, but it's hard for me to be. I don't want to lose her, but I don't know what to do.
What do you do presently? How do you handle it?
I disassociate myself a little bit because I know it's not going to be a joyful experience. She wasn't always that way.
Yes. And why do you not leave the relationship or friendship?
I have seriously thought about it this year.
Yes.
It's that
You are a joy seeker, a happiness seeker, a lover of life.
True.
Yes?
Yes.
And you are to satisfy that life with all those that align to you in it. You are not here to make others happy as much as you guys would think you are. You are here to make yourself happy, and in that emanation of happiness, more will come, and more will surround you. And the bigger you will become, and the grander you will become, and the better your life will become, and the more you will manifest all of the things that you had wanted to have in the life that you are living. This is how you get it. You see. But as you disempower this one by pitying her, by staying in a relationship that is not either for you or for her, by the way, you are of no service to her. Sometimes the mere withdrawing from the relationship is enough for the one to look at themselves or to see that how they are moving in their life is having a negative effect on those that are around them. You cannot allow another to cause you to lower your vibratory level, because now you will be subjected to this. Here's another one you might not like. This will end that friendship in a hurry. Here we go. Yes? Is the universe is a magical machine. And so that feeling, what's the feeling you have when you're with this one? Give it to us.
Sadness and
Do you want more sadness in your life?
no.
Because what's going to happen is, as you subject yourself to this emotion that you are having, this sadness that you're having, we're coming in, yes? This sadness that you have in you, is yours. That's your emotion. And that has to be returned on from all the rest. What else could make you sad? What might the universe replicate back to you in reflection of sadness? Is this what you want to create? Serve yourself. Get happy and get those out of your life that do not make you happy. You are no service to them, nor are they to you. Do you feel the truth in what it is we are telling you? Yes. You are an emanator of an emotion that is going to be returned on. And what happens is in your universe, as the universe, the mass of the universe keeps returning onto your sadness that you are emanating, by the way. You're giving it out. Yes, you're justifying it by her, but it's yours. Yes? So you are emanating sadness, and the universe thinks this one likes sadness. So it starts to replicate it. It starts to build within you, and you will get more and more sad. It will get bigger and bigger, and pretty soon you'll start seeing it other avenues or places in your life, and you'll say, where did this come from? I'm sad in my relationship. I'm sad in this. I'm sad in that, you see. And pretty soon that sadness will grow to a size where you can no longer ignore it. And this is the good thing, because that's how the universe works. It keeps notifying you through emotional responses till you can no tolerate any more of it. And then
So
you have to make a
have we
shift.
no value of empathy?
Good question.
What is empathy in your mind?
Feeling the emotions that her friend might be feeling.
Well, let me tell you what empathy really is. Empathy is, I see you. I know that you are in pain. I can even feel it with you. But I am going to allow you to have it because I know that it is for your betterment. I know that it is for your growth. I know that for whatever reason, and I do not need to know the reason, that it is necessary, that it is needed, and that I am wishing the best for you. This is empathy. Empathy is not taking it on. That's pity. Most humans pity others. They do not empathize. Empathize will sit and hold the hand, but they will not become the misery. I'm supporting. I'm holding.
Holding space for
I'm holding space for the misery you are in. I am right here with you. It's like waiting for a baby to be born. You don't decide that you're going to bore a baby when someone else is, do you? You hold their hand. You know it's painful. You know that they will get through it, and you support them in it. This is how you show empathy. But make no mistake about it, empathy is quite different than pity. And most humans pity. Why do they pity?
So Christina, do you have empathy or pity?
If she would not feel sad, she did not have pity. Her emotion is already notifying her. Her emotion, her high self is telling her through the negative feeling of sadness that the way she's thinking about the relationship is not in alignment to self. It's not going to bring her what she wants in her own life. Now, if you were empathetic, you would be not sad. You would say, boy, I can see what you are experiencing is tough. I'm here with you. But you would not lower yourself. You would not come down there with her. You would hold her where she is and allow her to experience what she's experiencing without moving you from the place or point that you are at. And not all humans can do this. If you can't do it, then we say get out. But if you can do it, you are of great service to a human. You've been taking it on. It lowers you, drains you. This is pity.
So is charity pity, and is charity taking, not respecting the journey that they've chosen?
Absolutely, charity is pity. It's disempowering to a human. Makes them believe more and more that they need to be taken care of, that they cannot do it for themselves, that they somehow have to live off of others in order to survive. Quite contrary to what many of you have been taught. But every human is powerful. Every human has a brain, a mind, and a body. And of course, if they do not have those things, then perhaps they need your charity. But many are getting charity that do not need it. And they are becoming more and more disempowered because of that. Did that answer your question?
Yes. How do you learn to become the empathetic type who can support people?
Yeah, good question. That's a good question.
Let's go around the fence on this one a little bit. Yes? One of the most difficult processes for a human is to understand that when you go into judgment of yourself or condemnation of yourself, you lower your own vibratory level. So if you're not able to do it, you're to love yourself right where you are. And you are to say to yourself, I want to have empathy for her, but I don't have it. And when I'm with her, I get depleted. It just lets the water right out of my tub. And then you love yourself. This is how you elevate your human. And if you don't elevate your human, if you don't love your human, if you don't support your human in all of the life experiences it is having, it cannot connect to the high part of yourself, which is holding all that you have become and all that you want in the lives that you're living, you see. So you have to love yourself enough to know how you feel and why you feel as you do. You have lineages, you have lives that you have lived, you have beliefs and perceptions that are because of those, the parenting that you've had, all of it is part of this package that is you. Why would you not love that? Why would you say, I'm not a good person, I'm not able to hold a spot for this one? Why would you not just say, I love you for all the experiences you've had, and for whatever reason, you're not wanting to hold a space right now, and that's okay. You humans have been trained to think that the only people that deserve compassion or empathy are others, and you give none to yourselves. You're not expected to be perfect. You did not come here to not do anything wrong. You did not come here to have these experiences and not be affected by them. They're all part of it. They're all part of you. And so the only way you can get the lives that you want to get is to get that understanding that there is no contrived level of perfection. Look at this one. Do you think she does everything right? Do you think she doesn't get pissed off at her husband? Do you think her life is somehow perfect now? Every day she opens her eyes and says, well, they're back. I can't understand why. And we'll tell you why. Because this gift is here for all of you. You are not expected to be perfect. You're not expected to give a hand to everyone and want to do it. If you want to do it, great. You have evolved to that point. Your life experience has led you to that point. And it's great, yes? But if you are not the shysters you think you are. You are simply experiences that are in these human tools. Robin said, if you knew how natural this felt when we are in her body, she's out right now. Dead, as a matter of fact. Where the dead are. Hard to believe, isn't it? She said it's pretty good out here. It's a lot better than where you are at times. But what she has realized in this process is that we are all consciousness. And that when we occupy her body and we are talking, feels completely natural to her. Just as natural as you are. Did you know you're all channelers, or you would not be sitting in the bodies you are in right now? You are governing these tools. And you have no idea what you're doing. You're avatars to some degree. So when you walk out of here today, you will either think we're nuts, or you're going to be free. And we hope it's the other. We hope you're free. We hope you know who you are. We hope you get the lives that you are meant to get. And that you stop patronizing yourself, stop condemning yourself, stop judging yourself by anything that you have ever done as you have deemed wrong in your life. Because this is not what is expected of a human. A human is a human. It's a feeler, it's a thinker, it's a taster, it's a trier, it's a decider. But it is not perfect, nor will it ever be. What achieves you what you want to achieve in your life is the union with the divine part of yourself. Some of you have got the belief that the divine part of yourself comes in the do-gooders, the perfection, the ones that point their fingers at all the others that are doing it wrong. And you are wrong. When you decide to emanate as an individual, sovereign creator, now you're doing it right. Now you have an impact. If you knew the power that one has in doing it right, you would be staggered by the results that could be achieved in it. Anything further? Any questions?
How about the Earth? How about what's going on with the Earth?
Oh, here we go. Some nasty, huh?
Yeah.
Tell me, what don't you like?
That
Emanate it to the universe so we can send it back to you.
we're polluted.
Oh, you want more pollution? Yes, let's have more of that. Come on, what else do you have? Bring it.
Let's see.
Crime,
Water
murder,
for everyone.
drugs, yes.
No, I don't want all that.
Yep.
Don't give it back to me. Don't want it all.
We want you to
I'm just saying,
understand
how do
something.
you help that? What do you do to help that? If
You stop thinking about it.
Oh,
You are an emanator, individual. Are you having a good time?
no.
Are you happy?
No.
Could you be?
Yeah.
Could you choose something that you love? Could you decide in your sovereignty, in your individualistic universe, to pick things that you love. Instead of focusing, humans think if they don't focus on what they don't like, that somehow it's going to increase, but all the while they're
How to
increasing
help
it.
it, not what you
You're
don't like, but
increasing
what
it.
do you want to do to improve it, I think is what I'm saying.
It's already been improved. If you knew that the minute that you have a thought, the minute that you have a desire, whether it's positive or negative, it's in the bank. Universe got it, received it, elevated it, took that charge of emotion and it's risen to the highest degree the minute it's received in all the news. So what's really happening with all this negativity in your world, all this robbery, all this murdering, all this drugs, all these things, the racism, the terrible banking systems, whatever it is that you want to throw before us? What's really happening? What's really wanted has happened. So there is no positive or negative. You think there is. You think there's good and bad, right and wrong. But there's only charges of energy. Did you realize you are electrical beings, that you are sending signals out that are being received? And that in all that is, they only receive the highest level of everything that they get. And the minute that it is received, there are two of you. There is you sitting there in your human form, and then there's you that is connected to you in the divine. There are two of you. And so every desire that you have had by the life you're living, whether it was positive or negative, has been received by you. And you knows what you want. You becomes the greater, expanded, better, wonderful version that you want. Even by the negative experience. We know when you're sad, you want to be happy. We know when you're lonely, you want to have company. We know when you have no money, you want more money. That's a given. And you know it too by the experience when you have it. You know that you want. So what do? You stay in the negativity. You just keep wallowing around in that pot of no money and wallowing around in that pot of negativity, and you just keep sending the same letter over and over again to all that is. And you're getting bigger, I promise you. Your bank account is growing. It's yours. It's got your name on it. It's becoming grander and grander and grander and grander, but you're not getting informed. Why? Because you're stuck in another level of perception. You are stuck down in the bellows of where it was created. Now, if you move into this love state that we're talking about, this happiness state, this looking for what you love, just seems too easy too, doesn't it? You guys just can't believe it could be this easy, can you? That you could actually take your individual focus, yours, and put it on things that you love, and get all the things you love because of it. That's how it works. So imagine the world that's waiting out there to arrive, when those of you that think you have to go around and fix it are preventing it from entering. You see? Did that answer your question?
No. Because I'm thinking of like mass shootings in schools. I've got a child. I mean, what earth are we handing back to them?
You can bring up every single negative situation that you would deem as negative or positive. Remember, there is no positive and negative. There is no right and wrong. Human just doesn't want to let go of that. Doesn't set well with you, does it? In your car. There's got to be right and wrong. There's got to be punishment. There's got to be those that have to be taught that have done something wrong. This is the way you hold your perception. But we would tell you, how do you feel? You feel fearful. You feel uncomfortable. You feel worried. This is all that is, communicating to you personally about you. Live in a world that you want to love. That's what you do. Take your eyes off of that which you are not wanting to see in your own experience. And this is how you're actually going to change it in the masses as well. It can't happen overnight, but it'll happen very quickly when all of you start doing it. Get off the horse that thinks there's right and wrong, because there isn't. There's mirroring. Do you see me? Yes. This is what's happening. You emanate, and the universe spits back out to you what it is you emanate. If you are loathing those who are shooting people, if you are worried or fearful of those that are killing people, what might come to you in a mirrored effect of that? It's hard to swallow, isn't it? This is why we are here. A human just is stuck in their craw, that there's right and wrong and good and bad, and that somehow others have to conform or stop their bad behavior. And you have to stop your behavior in order to change the world. This is how it's done.
Where you exist, there's a group of you in there from where you exist. Are there negative people where you exist that you battle?
All possibilities exist in all realms and all realms of reality. And we will tell humans this is very perplexing. What is reality? What is real? It's whatever you believe. We have humans that will come to us and say, do I have spirit guides? Do I have people that I can talk to that will guide me? We said, do you want them? Do you believe in them? Can you perceive them? Because this is how you will attract them to you. And so they will say, well, are they not real? And we'd say, is anything real? Every single thing has been created through consciousness, through thought form. So why not perceive how you would like it to be? Why not make the world that you want for yourself? And then add that to the masses and eventually overcome the things that you are not wanting to see in your experience. Everywhere. This is the power you have. But as you sit there as one, you think, I can't make that big of a change. I'm not that much of a person. But you are the source in expression, in form right now. And if you could perceive yourself as such, you would rise in your power to such a degree that the change you could make would be staggering.
And quick, right? And quick.
It can be very quick. Yes. We are already coming to a tipping point. Many will ask about the 5D reality. What's coming? Are we leaving? Are we going somewhere? Every plane of existence, and they do exist. But again, reality is what is perceived, what is believed, and what is focused upon. See? And as a human starts to evolve in their consciousness, we're evolving in our consciousness right now, whether you know it or not. You're being expanded in our presence and in our conversation. And so rising to another level of reality is your perception growing, your understanding growing, your knowledge growing. This is what going to another level of dimension is. And 5D reality is nothing more than people realizing, I create. I have more power than I thought I had. I decide what I like, I focus upon it, and I get what I want. This is the 5D reality, basically. It'll be very quick. Manifestation will just come like that, because people will believe it. They will know it. It's no different than becoming a doctor or a lawyer or Robin becoming a channeler. She had a great interest in it, did much study, enjoyed this process thoroughly. Whatever it is that you put your focus and attention on, you can manifest this. You can become this.
Children who have a lot of deja vus, is that previous life experiences?
There are many who will, especially when they are young, yes, who will have great remembrance of lives that they have lived. And there are some that will come to the earth plane with that intention or with that loaded. Yes, we say humans come to the earth already preloaded or ready to go. So even though you are looking at a baby, and many will say, well, how could this happen to a child? Or there are a number of things that humans will use that they think they will trip us up on and somehow make us say, that shouldn't have happened. Yes? But everything is a creation from one lifetime to the other. And the life you are living right now, believe it or not, is creating the lives that you will be living that are worth coming, that will be coming to you in the future. How you choose to feel and think. This is how the friendships and the mates and the parents that you're going to attract. People will say you pick your parents. Not really. You match your parents by what it is that you are learning, what it is you like, what it is you don't like. It's like dropping the balls into one of those marble machines where eventually all the colors come down and they match. This is how it works. This is how you find your mates. This is how you find your parents, your children. See? And it can be a match in not so good, or it can be a match in that feels really good, depending upon the lesson and the journey that you are on. You can be a match to one that loves, can be one match to one that hates, depending on the life experience and the perceptions they hold from the lineage and the lives that they have lived. And it is why when one asked before, how can we not feel for these ones that are suffering? And we say, you know not the lives that they have lived. You do not know the lineage that they were a part of, or what has contributed to the lessons that they are now involved in. So it is your job to be a holder of space and upliftment to the one, and not a changer or a pitier.
I've been it's been hard to grasp all this. Rob and I have discussed it. The best way to kind of get a grasp on the feeling is, we said, what if you were dropped on a deserted island all by yourself, you were very happy, you had everything you wanted. There are no people, no nothing. How would you feel when there's nobody to argue with, nobody complaining or anything, and you don't know what's going on in the world? We sat and thought about that flaw, and that's probably, you realize all the distractions you have in life. Because I'm having a hard time grasping all this too, this concept. But then you realize if you are happy inside, you go, oh, okay, it is you blame everybody else for your feelings, but you just realize you created yourself. But if you're all by yourself and happy, there's no problems, so all of our problems are brought on by how we think about this person, that person, what's going on in the world. So it's kind of
Well,
hard to grasp.
I don't think man-made religion helped us anywhere along the way.
No.
Yeah.
At all. Well, I have a punctuation for you, Robin. I grew up with this. So there's no life, truth, nor substance on earth. All is infinite mind and its infinite manifestation. Therefore, I'll say spirit is all in all. Mary Baker Eddy. You know her?
Robin is familiar, yes?
And I grew up with that.
Yes.
So I am so comfortable with all this.
Yes. We would tell you the biggest hang-up for a human, we can feel it, and you over here, yes? Is this right wrongness, because you're a good person.
I am a good person.
We're not saying you're not a good person. But if you were a shit person, you'd still be a good person. This is the problem, you see. And so that's the delineation we want to make here today, is that we don't care who you are or what you've done. You are worthy in all it is. And a human becomes submersed in this environment that they are in and in the perceptions and views of others. And they start to think that there is some way they have to behave or something they have to stand up for or march for in order to be a good person. And we hope that if you get anything out of the meeting that we have had here today, is all you are here is as a joy seeker and a liner. That's all that is. And that when you do that, you will be bringing so much good to the world that you could otherwise not do in the other forms that you were trying to do. Yes? That this will be the way that you would live. This is the way that we would want you to live. We tell humans all the time when we are in session, it might be a little hard for you to swallow, but we'll let you swallow it anyway. If you knew that your end date was already determined, how might you live? How much you eat? How much you enjoy yourself? And it has, you see. You're not going to stop anything. You're not going to change anything. You're not going to determine anything other than the joy that you feel. The desire that you have in the joy that you feel is what will deliver you what it is you are wanting in your life. Not the fear of it, not the avoidance of it, not the trying to change things that might harm it. It's your focus on how you want to live and how you want to feel, and alignment. And if you want to live a long and healthy and beautiful life, and you look for things that you enjoy, and you give up the marching, stop it, the demands of other people, and you just live with your blinders on, and use your focus for what it was intended for, you will get that life. And in getting that life, you will add that to the masses, and more will come and join that.
I don't understand the not going to change anything. Like, does that apply to the people in history?
You can only
who
change your
the
own.
course of history?
You change. That's how you change things.
But you can help people.
You can make people's lives easier if it brings you joy. There it is again. Not out of pity. Makes you happy to assist someone, to make them a meal, to come over and care for them a little bit. You love doing it because you love them. This is empathy. This is a good thing. But not because you are shooted into it, or you are getting recognition for it, or you are somehow pitying the one and feeling you have to do it. This is not a benefit to you or to them.
How do you shake
We know
off-
this one's in a little bit of confusion if we want to sort her, yeah? We want you to understand that as much as humans think that they are changing the world by being advocates for certain things, you're never going to feel good yourself as you do it. And as you emanate conflict, opposition, and pushing, the universe will bring that to you in your experience. And you will not like it. But if you decide, I want there to be no racism, no murders, a lovely life for people, and now you align in your love state and your happiness and your joy, the universe knows your desire. And it will reflect that back to all that you meet and to all the places of your life. and you will get this wonderful life. And others will say, how did you get that life that you have? How did it happen?
I think I understand that part, but when you said you're not going to change things,
Yes.
does that mean that everything's predetermined?
You mean in your own life?
No, I just mean in the course of the world.
To some degree, everything that is unfolding presently has already been determined by the thoughts and feelings and emotions that those have emitted. So yes, to some degree, plot today has already been thought about yesterday or the day before or the day before. But now, here you are, yes, picking and choosing. And that stops in the now moment. So you decide right here, right now, how you're going to emanate, how you're going to think, how you're going to feel, how you're going to choose, which will change the outcome, both for you and what you're adding to the masses. And the more people that get this information and start doing just that, the more it will change across the board. You heard us before when we said there's unconscious creating and conscious creating. Unconscious creating is emotion, people upset, people opposing, people on fire, about everything. And so it keeps unfolding, it keeps happening. The marches, the shootings, the crap that you don't want, because this is the focus. This is what people are, they are seeing it, and then they're thinking it, and then more is being regurgitated back. It's just a mirror effect that is occurring. So at some point you have to break that mirror. You have to decide to emanate differently in spite of what is being seen. It's difficult for humans because their senses, their seeing, feeling, smelling, tasting, touching, they become unconscious. And they start to think, this is real, this is reality, I have to go with it. I see it, I saw it in the news, I heard about it, it's real, see. But they don't think that conscious choosing in the moment is real. They don't understand that, they don't pay attention to their emotions. They don't understand that as they are feeling helpless, as they are feeling like the world is out of control, that doesn't feel good. But that doesn't mean that it's true. It means that your creative power is going in a direction of where that will be true for you, and therefore not good for all that is. Does that make it clear to you?
Yeah, I'm getting that we can change things, but not by fixating on the things that we don't want.
Absolutely. Even when you can justify them as being wrong. Add that to the list.
Yeah?
What is that?
It seems so simple, so it seems ridiculous.
It does seem
Because we're
ridiculous.
doers.
Absolutely. You are simply getting a mirrored reflect of your world, your perception of the world. See it however you want. That's what you will get back. It's your choice. When a human sees something they don't like, they like to blame somebody else. They like to say, it is bad. It is terrible out there. But you have this sovereignty, this ability to pick and choose what it is you will put your precious focus on. And that is what we are hoping that you will get out of the meeting we are having here today.
So why is it with humans we go to the negative? I mean, I am being in retail for all my life. You know, people like to talk about the bad stuff, and
Yes.
we won't talk about the good stuff. What is that?
Everything is based on a charge of energy, or you would agree that many of the negative emotions are very pungent or
Yes, they're
powerful.
Big, they're big, yeah.
Yes, the big charge. Yes. So there's actually more power behind that charge of energy. But if a human would understand that even in negativity, you can create great things. Because as you build that negativity in your universe, when you decide to turn, all of that power becomes available to you in a positive. It is not the negative that you would deem it. It's energy that you're adding to yourself. Do you understand? Every emotion you're having, there's none that are right or wrong or good or bad. They don't feel good to you. We understand that, but you're adding power to yourself in every feeling that you are having. It's being culminated or accumulated in you see. And when you understand, all of a sudden you awaken. They call it awakening. The light goes on, the creator that you are, and the focus goes in the direction that you were intending it to go. All that energy comes around and it's yours now for the positive creation of you. Do you understand? So it's never bad. It's never lost. It's not a negative as you would deem it. It's simply energy that is accumulated by the experiences you're having.
Makes sense.
Is there anything further? Any question?
I'd like to go back to that empathy. I have an issue with that with your friend. You feel you walk. Well, I have a few people like that. You know, I can't get them out of my mind when you leave them. I can't be around them. Some days you can, some you can't. And you walk away, you just can't get them out of your mind. You feel bad for them. What do you do about that?
Yes. You are to do your best to come into alignment. Do you feel worse walking away or worse staying and helping out? Where is the lesser of the two? What is it?
You feel guilty, I guess?
Yes. But it is not a pleasant emotion or a positive emotion. So we cannot be the callers or the determiners of whatever humans should do based upon the feelings that they have. But we would tell you one thing, that if you feel guilty, you will get more to feel guilty about. That you are an emanator. So if you do not want to receive back what it is you are emanating, then you need to change your emanation. We're not telling you it's wrong or right. You are an experiencer. You get to decide. It's your life. It's your energy that is building. We just told you, it's not for nothing. It's not negativity as you would deem it. It's yours. The life experiences you're living are yours. The energy you are exerting through emotions is yours. It's in you. It's in your universe. It belongs to you. It's all yours. But dependent on where you're stuck in your emanation is what's going to determine what comes into your life, you see. When you shift into the next gear, when you shift into that gear of how you are going to focus your sovereign energy, your mind, your view of the world, when you put your focus on what you want instead of what you say you are seeing, now you have access to this accumulation of energy that is within you, and it will move in a direction that you are going to love the result of. Because the universe takes your energy now. Now you've turned it around. Now you're the lover of life. Now you're the seer of the way you want the world to be instead of the way that people are telling you that it is. And as you do this, the universe accesses the information or the energy that is in you, that belongs to you, and then returns on that fund. All of the desires, all of the things that are in alignment to you. And how does it do it? In the way that you're going to feel. Why do you want anything? Why do you want the mate? Why do you want the car? Why do you want the vacation? You all want to feel a certain way. That's why you have the desire to begin with. That's why you're here. So once you get this understanding of emanating in a positive way, the universe will use the energy from all of the experiences that you have had to return to you in a positive way, in a feeling, in something that is going to match the feeling, that is going to be a perfect match to you and how you want to feel. That's why people will say all the time, I didn't see that coming. I didn't see that mate or that move or that job, but boy, did it make me feel good. They might be expecting a certain job or living in a certain place. They get something else and they're so happy and they cannot believe that it even existed or it was possible.
How does this consciousness exist in non-human animals?
What do you mean non-human animals?
Like
Clarify.
cat.
A cat?
Yeah.
Cats are, and dogs primarily, other than the ones that take on their human characteristics of the ones that own them, yes, are coming from pure positive energy. They are in alignment, let's use that term, with all that is. They are unconditional lovers, most of them. You've all seen the occasional attacking dog or one that is defensive. That's the term we would use for it. But those are taught by the human. This is not the natural state of the animal. The natural state of the animal is alignment, and that natural state is a state of love or admiration or appreciation, gratitude.
So their consciousness is different than humans.
No, not really. The divine part of you holds the higher level consciousness, and the human part of you that is experiencing through the senses. This is where what you would deem as negativity. But once again, we don't call it negativity. We call it energy. I think you would agree when you get a hot argument going, it's a lot of energy, isn't it? But you could also have a hot time in bed and have a lot of energy too. So we want you to get that understanding that energy is energy. It's not right or wrong or good or bad.
And do animals understand that?
Understand what exactly?
Just the exchange of energy, that it's not good or bad, right or wrong?
Energy, animals are not of a reasoning capability or a, we don't want to say thinking because they think, but they do not reason. They do not pre-calculate, premeditate, or reason as a human does. It's different. But it is still consciousness. Any form of consciousness can flow into any object that it so chooses to. Many humans have been taught that if you are a human, you are only a human. And we would tell you that you can be anything. You could be a rock, you could be a tree, you could be a cat, you could be a dog. You have been all things because you come from the one thing that is all things. It's all a difference of vibration, vibratory level, more than anything else.
Can you tell how many lives people have lived by meeting them in situations like this? And I am not asking personally.
We'll tell you one of our views on past lives because we have many, and we would tell you that a human has access to their past lives if it is so applicable to them to know about them. So if you, for example, would have something that is repetitive in your life or a behavior that is something that is somehow holding you back, and you were to ask yourself over and over again about that behavior, you would be given privy to or an understanding of or a flashback of a life that you have lived before. Robin has actually had this occur several times. So we will have humans that will come to us and want us to recite their past lives to them. And we will tell you the reason that oftentimes we do not do this. We want, for one, we are here to empower humans into the knowing and understanding that whatever it is that they are wanting to have knowledge of, they have the ability and the power to do so, whether they choose to believe it or not. See? But one of the things that Robin has found in her transmissions when people are asking about past lives, it is usually to justify a behavior or also, yes, they want to feel some grandeur. Perhaps they had a past life as a king or a queen, or there is some form of grandeur that makes them feel better in this life. But here's what happens. As we touch those spots in a human about their past lives, it can somewhat activate what we call the pod. We like to refer to it as this, so that a human gets a little bit of an understanding that every life you've ever lived, every existence that you have ever had is culminated or part of you, yes? And so now you are here having this experience in this time, place of reality. And then if we are to bring up one of your past life experiences, it can very much activate that in you, or that tendency or pod, yes, that you are a part of. And this can start to leak in or leach into the life experience that you are now having. And this is one of the reasons that you have the forgetfulness that you have, really, is because you are here in a separate existence with the ones that you are existing with, yes? And you are working on different things in the life that you are in. And when you get this injected knowledge from past lives, it can very much influence or change the way that you are moving in the life that you are presently in. So it's not something that we encourage. But you can encourage it in yourself, and if it is something that would be of benefit to you, it will be revealed to you. Is there any other question?
I have.
Yes.
So in Christina's case, talking about a friendship that means so much to her and possibly leaving that relationship so that she feels more peace or joy. Does she talk about it with that person, or if she's doing that, is she saying, you're wrong, I'm right?
Yes. We would venture to guess that you have not talked about it because you do not feel it go well.
Yes, exactly. That's how it's happened.
Yes. So it would be completely up to the human. This is what we always say. Life is about balance. It's about making the best choice. There's never going to always be a perfect choice, but there'll be the one that feels best to you. So if you feel better making yourself a little bit miserable and staying in that relationship, if that feels better to you energetically, then withdrawing yourself from it and the shame and guilt you feel because of that, you have to decide. You have to weigh those things. But we would tell you, if you're going to withdraw, then do it in your joy. Do it in your knowing that you've chosen you, that this is not a negative and nothing that you should feel guilty or ashamed in doing this. Oftentimes, a human will get out of a relationship, and this is the avenue they will go down. They will decide that they are somehow bad. They have done this thing that is awful. Yes, others are going to look at them and think that they shouldn't have left, that they've done something wrong. You have to shore yourself up, really. You have to get yourself to a place where you understand that the most important relationship you will ever have in your life will be the one that you will have with yourself.
I wish I would have been taught that earlier. God damn it.
You are a never-ending being. Take it with you.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Anything that we have not covered or that would make you feel complete today?
Or anything that you feel that needs to be centered
We think we have driven it home. You are a sovereign, individual expression of the divine. And you are not here to be an expression of everyone else. By trying to change them, trying to make them like you, we don't care what they've done. We don't care what their beliefs are or their opinions are. And this is going to be the hardest thing for you going out into the world, is to just understand that you have to pay so close attention to how you feel in every interaction that you have. And if you don't feel good, it ain't good. And it doesn't matter what the one has done. It doesn't matter how much you detest them for what it is they believe in, because your detest is likened to them. We've enjoyed this interaction more than words can say. Robin has recorded it. She is not sure how well it will be picked up, but would be happy to share it with you. We are grateful for your time and your interest. We are in no way here to change anyone's beliefs. We have heard talk of religion, yes. We are behind anything that makes a human's heart sing, that makes them feel in alignment. If you go to church every day and you love doing it and you feel happy doing it and it makes your heart sing, then we would say, cheerio, carry on, yes? Anything further before we withdraw?
Thanks for coming, guys.
Thank you. Yes.
You are most welcome. And we wish you the happiest of birthdays. Yes? Good day.
I don't even know what to do. I'm like applauding.